Hi, this is Victor Lund from the Wave Group. I have with me today Morgan Carey. He's the CEO of Real Estate Webmasters. He's somebody that I've known for a very long time. He works with a lot of our brokerage clients and a lot of top producing agents and teams to deliver some really sharp technology. And as we enter this new frontier of generative AI, like Morgan's one of the people that we look to find out how they're ingesting this new technology into their business and how they're supporting their customers with it. So welcome, Morgan. How are you?
Hey Victor, so excited to be on here. It's launch week here at Real Estate Webmasters. As you said, AI is blowing up everywhere. It's super exciting, it's super powerful, and has so many applications in real estate. And I can't wait to show you some of the things that we've been doing over here at Real Estate Webmasters.
Did you give this new release a name?
We sure did. The release is called the Conversations release. And it's called that because a lot of the AI features that we've released in this new update are all around helping agents improve their conversations with their clients. There's transcripts, there's summaries, there's AI feedback. It's really exciting. It integrates with the dialer. It does so much. And through our work with like eXp Realty and Justin Haver and the Beyond Real Estate Group, and obviously with we get feedback from Ken Pozek from Keller Williams and Gary Ashton from Remax. All of these guys are helping us build this product. And one of the things we all know is if you improve your conversations, or if agents improve their conversations, they will improve their conversions. And so that's what this release is all about.
And I know that, you guys have that a lot of what you do in terms of lead gen and lead conversion is as much as the science as anything, but you need
Mm.
the human in the middle to really be that expert, and that just takes coaching. One of my buddies, our mutual friend actually, Greg from Cloud CMA, he's like, when he launched his product, he said, I need to make the first 10,000 phone calls. Otherwise, I can't get other people to really understand it or I won't be good at it. So, yeah, I've always remembered that and been mindful of it. So it's a good parallel to learn by. Why don't you just show us
Yeah,
conversations? Let's see what it does.
yeah.
While he brings that up, just for everybody that's listening to this today, Morgan, he's a West Coast person. He's got people across the country that he works with. You can reach out to him. We'll put his contact information down below. But if you want sort of the longer version understanding of what they're doing, I think you want to keep track of what people like this company are doing because Real Estate Webmasters is, they've innovated a lot of stuff over time. I mean, you're probably going to see some things here that you haven't seen before, and I imagine that in 2 weeks from now you'll have 10 more things to show people. So
Absolutely. Let's start at the release blog post. You can find this at rew.com or realestatewebmasters.com/blog. Scroll down one or two posts, you'll find it. And it basically outlines like there's more in this release than just the AI stuff. So I'll scroll over this quickly, but then I'm going to show you the really good stuff. It's all good, but obviously we're super excited about the AI stuff today. So here you kind of see table of contents. This is the big one. It's at the top for a reason, right? These are AI generated transcripts and call summaries. Okay, so that's the first part of this release, and I'm going to take you through exactly how that works. We also partnered with Ken Pozek from Keller Williams, and we've really upped the amount of automations that are available in our CRM. Not going to talk about that too much today, but that's in this. It's things like, if somebody has looked at least 5 properties, then automatically send them a text offer to view those properties, things like that. So it's super cool. Gary Ashton, one of our partners and advisors, asked us to have pin notes. So it's just an example of collaboration. So that's in there. There's an updated engagement wheel, which now follows the full sales process from making a call, sending a text, logging a deal, saving a search, all those things. So that's really exciting. You can now import your deals directly into the CRM, as well as do bulk tagging and bulk actions on your deals, which is really cool. There's a new notification center. There's new messaging pop-up. I mean, the thing about Real Estate Webmasters is every time we do a release, which is like every 2 months, there is so much that we release here. So really excited, but let's get into the AI. So first of all, I'm going to do something fun. I'm actually not going to use a real estate site at first. I'm going to use my own Real Estate Webmasters website. So here's my back end. Are you able to see the screen here?
100%, we're clear.
Okay. So the workflow is simple. Someone has gone into the CRM, they've used a dialer, they've made a call, they've made a connection, and now this is where the AI takes over. And Instead of the past where you had to like log notes and try to write everything down and not necessarily be able to pay full attention, the system now creates a full transcript of your call, right? And so let's just go see, we'll use Debbie here. And I can click on the outgoing call. Now this is odd. This is really important for team leaders and for agents to know. This is all automatically logged. So you no longer have to manually log your conversations or your calls in a CRM after you do it. It just happens for you, right? The time, the date, how long it was, all of that important stuff. We're saving you time by doing that all automatically for you. And now, instead of having to make sure you're trying to take notes while you're listening, you can just do active listening because our system creates a full transcript of the conversation, including who said what. Okay. So that is powerful pieces number 1 and 2, right? All of your stuff is logged for you. You get a full transcript. And then the AI actually comes and summarizes that full transcript for you, right? And so that, it'll call out things like any commitments you made, any reminders you need to do, that sort of stuff. It will all be in there so that if you ever need just a quick hit summary of your conversation, it's right there at the top. Or if you want to be able to check out your full transcript and remember every single commitment you made, it's down in the transcript. So that is just massive for us, right? Now, the next phase of this, which actually launches in November, so this one launches next week. All of the stuff I'm showing you on this screen launches next week. But in November, there will be a button that you just automatically push and it gives you feedback, and you'll get a grade from like A+ to F, right? That tells you exactly how well you're doing on each call. So for an individual agent, they have feedback, and for team leaders and owners, their agents are improving, and it removes that bit of friction, right? As team leaders, we want to be empowering, want to be educating, want to be encouraging, but hard conversations are hard. And I know it's our job, right? But the last thing an agent wants us to do, and the last thing we want to do, is to have to audit every one of their calls and give them negative feedback sometimes, right? With AI, it's not personal. So that's super exciting.
If I'm a brokerage and I have a mortgage company, I can deploy this resource to my mortgage loan officers.
Absolutely. That's actually why I chose Real Estate Webmasters, my business that sells websites, to show it to you as opposed to a real estate team. But let's go check out how it would work on a real estate team, right? Because that's obviously the main purpose. So here I am with new leads, right? In my CRM, the Carly Carey Real Estate Team CRM, right? I've got Forrest here making some calls. Actually, by the way, I want to show this off. Take a look at this. First call time, our system tracks speed to lead, right? It's very important because that's something we teach, right? 4 minutes, 33 seconds, 37 seconds, 2 minutes, 9. This kid is doing a great job overall on reaching out on brand new leads, which is critical. But anyways, let's go back to the call. So he's made this call to this person. We'll bleep out their name for privacy, right? But you can see here it's an outgoing call. I can see that it's a local number and it lasted 3 minutes and 5 seconds, right? And so here's my summary. So if I'm a manager or I'm a coach or whatever, again, we've looked at how it works with a real estate website company. It could be working for a real estate team. It could be working with your question for a brokerage, etc. It doesn't matter. It's completely flexible. Summary. Conversation was between the Forrest and the customer named X, who recently signed up with the website. X expressed that he was just browsing properties in the Bowser area and is not looking to move immediately. And he and his wife will still consider their options after they're semi-retired. Forrest offered assistance and suggested a follow-up call to discuss X's preferences, but X declined, stating he was not ready for a conversation yet. They exchanged contact information, and Forrest encouraged X to reach out when he had questions about the market. The call ended on a friendly tone, with both wishing each other well. What a great starting point for a new agent, right? But if you're an experienced agent or a team leader or a coach or a broker, you know there's likely opportunities that this could have been turned into a much more engaging conversation where maybe we could have gotten some commitments, right? It's one of the objections that people often have when you first call them is, hey, I'm just looking, I'm not looking yet, right? The skills that need to be developed are skills around getting that next commitment, saying things like, absolutely, I know you're not ready yet. One of the most important things, though, of course, is to build a relationship with a realtor before you start looking so that you have somebody, in your pocket that's there as an advisor to help you understand the market. So when we're ready to start looking, you don't have to start looking for a realtor first. So I'd still like to make an offer. I would love to buy you and your wife coffee. How's next Wednesday? Something like that, right? Like we teach them skills to get them to the next level. And Forrest likely hasn't done this in the call. The summary doesn't say he does, right? And so we can test that using Rupert or ChatGPT, doesn't matter. I'll show you the Rupert example now, right? So I'll take this same transcript, okay? And I'll go and I'll open Rupert, which is the built-in AI robot for real estate webmasters, right? And I always talk to Rupert here. See if I can type. Hello, Rupert. This is one of my new agents. He has called a lead for the first time and is supposed to move to getting an appointment, even if they are not ready. What did he do well and what could he improve on? And then I take that transcript and I put it into our AI. So just like ChatGPT, we saw in the other example with the real estate webmasters customer, right? Here I am directly in my CRM getting feedback from our real estate specific AI robot on what this person could have done better. Now, again, I'm only having to put this into Rupert for this release. Next release, this feedback will be automatic. So that's really exciting. But let me show you the feedback and see if this resonates with you as a potential coach, team leader, owner, or even agent in terms of the feedback for this new agent, right? Now, I've done this in real time. I've not pre-recorded this part at all. This is the first time I've done it. So let's see what he says. Based on the transcript, here's some feedback. Friendly professional introduction. Great. Forrest introduced himself, real estate team. Clearly maintained friendly tone throughout the call. Forrest, keep doing that. Be friendly. That's amazing, right? Great tone. Listening to the client. Forrest listened to X's situation and acknowledged the current status and just exploring options without immediate plans to move. It showed empathy and understanding of the client's needs. Like, we're a coach here and we're giving, like, this is a coach giving this agent praise on what they did well, and they need that. Forrest has a non-pushy approach. Great. People should embrace their specific approaches, embrace their strengths, right? And Forrest did offer future assistance. Okay. But areas for improvement, appointment setting. Forrest attempted to set up a follow-up call. He could have been more assertive and suggested specific times for brief consultations. Just perfect example. A value proposition. Forrest could have emphasized the benefits of the planning process early, which is, by the way, what I just said earlier, right, as a coach, right? Exploring the client's needs. Follow-up strategy. Overall, Forrest handled the call well by being friendly and non-pushy, but there is room to improve in terms of setting appointments and exploring clients' needs more deeply. That is fantastic coaching that this realtor needs, okay? And going back to what I said before, about sometimes the friction in conversations, right? If I were to say this and Forrest values my opinion and he looks up to me as his leader, he might take this feedback personally, right? And we don't want that, right? We want agents to understand feedback is to help them grow. And the beauty of AI, and Justin Havard from Calgary says this all the time, is that it's no longer personal, right? The AI is programmed with all the best practices. It's there to help you as a tool, give you feedback. It's not judging you. AI has no ability to judge you, right? And so it takes that personal effect out of the feedback, which allows agents to actually get it, absorb it without as many feelings, right? And so you have a built-in coach 24/7 on every single call by using this feature. So that was a very long way to answer your question. Absolutely, a mortgage broker could use this. And any leader of any sales organization should use this tool, not just real estate, but obviously we built it for real estate. So
Do you guys build your own dialer technology or do you integrate with one that is known to be great?
absolutely, we build our own dialer technology in-house, but it is built on the Twilio infrastructure. Twilio, of course, is best of breed. They focus on making sure the deliverability, the quality of signal, et cetera, is there. So the underlying infrastructure is Twilio, but we built our entire dialer on our own at Real Estate Webmasters ourselves. So I'll show you a quick example of how that works because we haven't seen that yet. I've just done a quick search for my own lead here. And so agents can do the dialer from kind of anywhere in the CRM. But here's a quick example. So you click the call button and the dialer flies out. It's calling my cell phone right now. They have all the controllers of like,
Enter your password.
it wants my password because I'm calling myself. But yeah, so you have mute controls, keypads. You can actually record all calls if you want to do that. Make sure that your agents know that they should be asking for permission before recording calls, right? You can take notes right in the dialer yourself if you want to. But again, with this new AI, the AI is automatically creating the transcript of all of your calls. It automatically logs them. It automatically creates a summary, etc. So yes, our dialer, wherever you are in the CRM, you can just click the call button. It'll fly out. You can click it, if you're using the responsive backend on your cell phone, you can do it from your cell phone. And one of the cool things about our dialer, which is better than say Follow Up Boss or any other dialer, we actually have the ability to sync your own personal cell phone number and call display with our dialer. So I can use the back end, but I don't have to use a Twilio phone number. You can actually use your own phone number for outbound dialing. That is a very unique feature of our CRM, and the agents love it.
And like how do you use this for management? I know a lot of brokerages and team leaders need to evaluate the performance of their sales associates and business partners. And how is this? I mean, I know that you're using AI for the coaching, but just this visibility in terms of how one of your sales associates is planning their work and working your plan. I mean, how vital is that to your business?
So business management is one of the places that this application shines the most. And I think a lot of people sleep on just how good it is. Okay. So as a sales leader, I work with my agents and I want to help them with goal setting, right? We work backwards from what are the outcomes you want to hit this year? And then we work backwards to, okay, how are we going to get to those outcomes, right? And, in our system, you can actually log all of those goals, your outcome goals, as well as your, the steps that it's going to take to get there, right? If you want to get this many transactions, you need to have this many appointments. In order to get that many appointments, you need to have this many conversations. In order to have that many conversations, you need to make this many phone calls, etc. Right? And so it's kind of this Kaizen approach that AJ Hazy talks about a lot, where if you can manage each of the pieces and you can identify where the pieces are doing well and where the pieces aren't, you can improve the process, right? And so I'll show you goal setting really quickly here with one of our agents as an example. So I'm going to go be Jada here for a second. I'll show you how they can set goals in the back end. So I can go to my agents tab. I can go to my grade me report card here and edit my goals. And so you'll see here that all of those goals we talked about, right? How many calls I want to send on a daily basis, how many conversations I want to have, how much conversation time, how many texts, how many appointments. Again, these are daily goals, okay? And then you also have annual goals, right? So this is her 2025 annual goal. This agent wants to make $160,000 in commission. She wants to do 24 deals. 16 of those should be buy sides. 8 of those should be sell sides. So going back to the report, Jada has a goal report here, right? And this is her year to date, but her goals are set for the whole year. So you can see that she's already at 15 of 24 goals. She can see her progress in the CRM, right? And of course, if I was logged in as the manager, I would see all of the agents and all of their goals, right? How many deals have they closed and how close are they to their annual goal target, right? In her case, she's already done $174,000 of her $160,000 commission, which is great. That also allows us to give her feedback like, oh, by the way, you underestimated the value of each deal because you didn't need as many deals as you thought you needed in order to hit your goal, right? So let's go change your commission goal because it looks like you're going to earn a lot more than that this year, right? We track the buy sides, we track the sell sides, etc. And you can personalize this UI any way you want, right? So goal setting is critical. Performance to those goals is critical, right? And so again, that's if you're in real estate. I can go check my own sales organization, right? So I go to REW and I'm like, okay, I expect X amount of calls per day, X amount of conversation time. I've helped my reps set their own targets, set their own goals, right? So I go in or a rep does this as well, right? I'll assume Shannon here. And let's check my targets, right? Let's go use the grade me feature. It's early in the day today. So let's go to say Monday, right? How did Shannon do? How did this individual rep do on that particular day, right? And you can see here that she's chosen to measure in her report card calls, conversations, conversation times, and appointments, okay? Now on this particular day, She was clearly in a lot of conversation. She was having long calls, which is great, A plus, right? But she did not meet the stated goal of 20 calls that she set for herself. Okay. She did get into 5 conversations, but she wanted to get into 8, right? And so agents can use this to push themselves. They loved getting green on their cards, right? But in this particular day, this agent got a D, right? Now I can go back to say Thursday of the previous week, right? Check out this day, a much better day. She got an A. And it's a report card, right? Just like in school, people understand this, right? Green is good, red is bad, etc. On this day, she exceeded her 20 calls. She got into almost enough conversations to hit that goal. She had tons of conversation time and she booked 3 appointments, right? So this tool allows agents to stay on track. If I was coaching Shannon, right? And if I was a driver of like people getting their goals, I'd be like, okay, Shannon, 22 calls of 20. We know you're capable of making 20 or more calls. How many more calls would it have taken to get just 2 more conversations? Right? She'd say, I don't know, 5, 10, whatever. Not everybody picks up the phone. Cool. So, how important is it for you to hit that goal you set for the end of the year? She would say, probably pretty important. Okay, so do you think you could have spent 30 more minutes on your call time to get those few calls in to get those conversations? And she would say, hopefully, absolutely. Okay, so clearly you're doing great with appointments. You're doing great everywhere on this particular day. If we could replicate this call every or this report card every day, you would be crushing it. But if you're a perfectionist like I am, I would have kept going. I would have kept calling just to get those 2 more conversations. But by the way, you've done a fundamentally perfect job here. You get an A. You've done great. So just, Shannon, you keep this up day in, day out. You are going to be very successful at this organization, right? That's how the tool works, right? And we teach them things like check your report card. And you can do it not just daily, right? You can do weekly, you can trend it monthly, you can trend it year over year, whatever you want to do, right? Look at what she's achieving. A plus compounding over time, 100 calls of 100 calls, 33 conversations in a week, 1,000 minutes of conversation time, and 15 appointments booked, right? This green A plus right here makes an agent feel pretty good, and it makes a leader feel very good too, right? But there's obviously the flip side to this. I'm sure I could go find agents, I won't do so for this demo, who are not doing so well, right? If this said D, F, C minus, etc., I would be able to pull up this report card, sit with them and say, listen, we need to manage this business towards the goals. Either we need to adjust your goals, keeping them reasonable within our organization, right? But making them so that you can achieve them, or you need to hit them, or we need to exit you from the organization, right? So from a management perspective, that's how we use this system, right? And there is way, way more in here, right? In terms of dashboards, reporting, etc. Like look at this dashboard for a week, 903 calls, 304 conversations. At a glance, I can see just how productive my organization, like I got 81 appointments booked here in this time frame, right? Looks like a couple of weeks or something, right? 59 deals. Now, obviously, we sell more things at Real Estate Webmasters per week than, say, a real estate team does. But like as a manager, it doesn't matter. If you were in the Carly Carey team, like we could go there, for instance. And I'll show you another feature. Take deals, for instance, right? And we're still logged into Jada here. And we could go like, okay, how many deals have been created, let's say year to date, from Google PPC because we're buying leads for this particular rep, right? And so this is now sort of on the, so 7 deals. Leads went to Jada so far this year from PPC specifically. 7 deals have been added. It's $5 million. 6 of those have closed. She's done $1.7 million in sales volume. Right? I can literally break down and I can configure all these. I can have whatever data I want in these cards. It's crazy, right? So we have deals, we have ROI tracking, we have, I mean, just anything you can imagine you have in this system.
With your platform, brokers can just sort of give you a target allocation of digital marketing spend.
Yeah.
your company delivers the business, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, at Real Estate Webmasters, we have done this now for 22 years. We've worked with the greats, Barbara Corcoran, Frederick Eklund, Mauricio Amansky, you know, all those people who you see in the media, but also the true greats. Those are people like Gary Ashton, who's #1 in Remax, and Justin Haver, who's tops in EXP, and Ken Posick, who's tops in Keller Williams, right? So we know what to do with a marketing budget. We know the priorities. We run our own team as well. So yes, a brokerage can come to us and they can get a beautiful website, an amazing CRM, the lead generation, and the coaching, which I haven't really talked about much, but I provide coaching on a monthly basis on this platform as well, right? So all of the components, if a brokerage just wanted to write a check and have proper expectations set, right? They still need to hold their agents accountable, right? I can coach their agents to call, call, call. If their agents do not make the calls, you will not make any money, right? So you have to use the system. I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink, right? But we literally guarantee if you use the system the way we teach it and you spend what you need to spend, you will make money, right? However, that's not the most rewarding type of project for us, right? Sure, write a check, that's great, we'll get results. The most rewarding projects are projects like I'm working with a gentleman named Chris Colgan right now on an SEO project, right? He is excited, he's engaged, right? It's one of the reasons we like to work with team leaders. We love brokers too, but team leaders are still close enough to the commissions. They're still engaged, right? And so ideas happen. Our product gets better. So not only are we helping him make money and making him look good online, etc., but he's giving us a feedback loop on how we're performing, right? He's telling us what we could do better. He's asking us great questions that have us explore new parts of the technology, etc., right? So the best relationship, whether it's an agent, whether it's a team, or whether it's a broker, is where it's collaborative and they're bringing their ideas to the table because we really welcome those ideas. And it's how this product has gotten so good over time.
Well, Morgan, as always, it's great talking to you and seeing the innovations that you guys are bringing, the real work behind what happens in real estate is handled by a lot of technologists like you who understand real estate very, very well. So I appreciate your time. If you're listening to this and you don't know Morgan, you don't know about his company, you haven't seen cool tech like this before, definitely reach out and chat with his group. They've got a lot of great customers who live on this software and feed their families on it. So I appreciate your time, Morgan, as always. It's great to hear from you. Great to see you.
Victor, it is so great to see you. It's been a hell of a year this year, obviously, for a lot of reasons. We're really actually excited about the future of real estate webmasters, the future for our customers, and for a turnaround in the real estate industry for 2026. And so, for anyone who's interested, you can go to rew.com. You can see my website, my name, and my email address down below on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And we would love to hear from you. We would love for you to join our community, join our forums, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you and sort of really dive into some of these new technologies. So thank you so much.